2/3 of COVID-19 deaths in Australia have been in aged care, and at the Royal Commission yesterday, a leading policy expert, Professor John Ibrahim, lashed the government's efforts to prepare the sector for the pandemic, saying hundreds of residents have died and will die prematurely because people have failed to act. He said an attitude of futility has contributed to a lack of urgency in responding to the disaster, but the Deputy Chief Medical Officer, Nick Coatsworth, launched an emotional rebuttal to that claim.
We have locked down once across an entire nation to be able to protect our most vulnerable. So the assertion that there was an attitude towards futility, towards deaths in residential aged care in Australia is frankly insulting to the entire Australian community who locked down to prevent deaths amongst our most vulnerable. Will there be more deaths amongst our elderly residential aged care population because of COVID-19? The answer is yes. And every one of those deaths will have an impact.
Pete, there was also a surprise appearance at the Commission by former Chief Medical Officer and now Health Department Secretary Brendan Murphy, who took issue with claims made to the inquiry on Monday that the Commonwealth had no plan for a COVID-19 outbreak in aged care. He tried to interrupt proceedings to make an opening statement, but was put in his place by Commissioner Tony Pagoni.
If it's possible that I could make a very, very brief opening statement to respond to some of the statements made by the Council assisting in his opening address on Monday, where it was alleged that the Australian government has not planned or prepared for the impact of COVID-19, and as a result we've had a high death rate. Neither of those statements is accurate.
Really, the focus of today is not in order for different positions to be put in response to what appears in the media, but rather for our inquiries to continue in the way they have.
Meanwhile, Eliza, COVID-19 is continuing to cause economic pain. What are we expecting in the job figures today?
Yeah, Pete, economists are expecting the figures to show a slight economic rebound and boost to the number of jobs created, reflecting the lifting of restrictions across most states, but it won't be enough to offset another jump in the unemployment rate. It's expected to rise from 7.4% to around 7.8%, and that's likely to be fuelled by more people looking for work for jobs that simply aren't there.